Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mello's NFL Weekly. I'm your host, former professional athlete Hank Davis, and this is our preview edition of Season 7. Joining me on the line, he is our resident professor of sports, and he's the gambling guru himself. He's Mello Betts. How are you, buddy?
I'm going to get that Cavalieri if it's the last thing I do.
Mello, you sound crystal clear this year.
I'm liking the sound of this baby boy.
We've done an upgrade to Mello's audio, so Mello is now on Skype and sounding rather dapper. Mello, this is the preview edition, as I stated in the open, and what we're going to do is we're going to go through every division, and we're going to pick the division winner, we're going to pick the wild card teams, and we're going to ultimately pick conference champions and the Super Bowl champion. So if you want to know who's going to win the Super Bowl in February, tune in to the show today in September. Isn't that awesome?
That is sweet, baby.
You can basically cancel your cable at that point.
Yeah, you can do something else. we got you covered.
We got your time just given right back to you. You give us your time 30 minutes a week, we just hand it right back to you. Hours, by the days.
Gotta love it.
That's what a great service we provide. But if you listened last year would have been a pretty interesting Super Bowl. It didn't happen, but that's all right. All right, Mello, are you ready to start this? Because I wanna jump right into the NFC.
Okay, let's do that.
So let's start out with the NFC East. If you look at this from top to bottom, this is an excellent division right here.
Yes, it is.
And it'd be so easy to just hang my hat on the Giants or such, but I am going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to step out by myself, and I'm picking the Philadelphia Eagles to win this division this year.
Okay.
Mello, do you want to retort?
I've heard a lot of people say that this is Philly's year and they got all that talent and stuff, but I am not ready to jump on board with those guys because Michael Vick has only won the 2 playoff games, and I'm sorry, I just don't have faith that he's going to lead them all the way. I am going with the Dallas Cowboys.
Whoa. Wow.
It's finally time for them to do something, or they got to break that group up.
Hey, how many security guards does it take for the Cowboys to get? Oh
boy,
sorry.
Here we go.
I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. Okay, so you've got the Dallas Cowboys.
They've got all that talent, and I think they'll be led by their defense if they're smart.
And I've got Andy Reid. Oh, well, we ran the ball. Awesome. All right, so let's move on to the NFC North. Go north, young man. Go north. Now, this one is, not as stout, obviously, as some other divisions, but it's got some standout teams, some teams that you can put in there with just about anybody, I would say.
Oh, yeah, they've got 3 good teams in the division. Anyway.
Definitely. And winning this division, I've got the Green Bay Packers. I tell you what, Aaron Rodgers is a marvel to watch, and I think he's just still too strong to be held back by porous defensive backs. You've really got to load up these secondaries if you're going to stop Green Bay. And I'm going to take Green Bay for, I think this is like the 3rd or 4th year in a row.
Yeah, well, it's kind of a no-brainer. 15-1, they're stinging from that playoff loss, so they've got something to play for this year. I just don't know how you get past Green Bay. And Charles Woodson has moved to safety. That's going to cause problems for other teams.
Definitely. So it seems like we are saying that's a no-brainer in that division anyway.
That's kind of one of the ones that how do you really go against Green Bay? At 15-1 last year, that's kind of hard to go against them. Aaron Rodgers, in the prime of his career, probably only getting better, really.
Yeah, and that's scary. Now let's head to the NFC South for a vacation. Yeah, for a vacation here.
Oh, boy.
So this one,
rise again.
I'm sorry to say, but this one seems to be pretty down for me. Do I really want to watch Atlanta? There's nothing. When I say down, it's just nothing I want to really see that much. Okay. I want to see Drew Brees and, maybe some Cam Newton highlights. But other than that, what do they really got down there?
Yeah. I'm kind of thinking it's going to be a little bit of 9-7-ish, 8-8-ish mediocrity in this one here.
And if you have to pick a winner in this one, I would say it's going to be the Saints. I know that's a safer pick or whatnot, but if you're just saying who's got more bullets in the gun, it's the Saints. Who you got?
Well, you know me, with the natural progression of things, this is time for Matty Ice to start winning some playoff games here. I think they have a good squad this year. I think that they take the South. I'm just a little leery with taking New Orleans with all that's gone on and what's going to go on with the suspensions, and half the season you're without who and this person and that person and stuff. So I'm taking Atlanta. I got New Orleans coming in second, and Carolina and Tampa Bay. I just, how good are they really going to be this year?
Yeah, I can't see them, improving that much anyway. Just can't see it. So let's go now to the NFC West. And this has been a division in recent years that, kind of the lower teams have been mired in just futility. But I think that's going to turn around a little bit this season. I think they're finally going to be able to go outside this division and compete with some teams, or at least make it interesting.
Yeah, I think they will be. The bottom feeders in this division will be better. They're going to show some progression.
I really do. So I am going to say San Francisco is going to win this division. They are strong. They're on the uprising of where they're headed. This is not a team that's at the end, like the Chargers that we'll get to, that might be at the end of their run. But this is a team that is coming up. And I really think when you build a team, predicated with that defense and running the ball, I really think they've got plenty weapons to beat back any other team in this division, and maybe the conference. Who you taking?
Yeah, I've got San Fran as well. They're way too strong for the rest of the teams in this division, but I'm saying that they'll be one of those like a made-for-TV movie here. They're going to be made for the regular season, but they could have a matchup problem when they get into the playoffs. But I see them running away from this division again this year.
Definitely. Mello, did you want to pick our wild cards right now from the NFC while we're still in the NFC conference?
Yeah, because I think I've nailed my wild card teams, as a matter of fact. I think these teams will be in the playoffs whether they win their division or wild card, but I've got them as wild cards in this pick.
Okay. I'm going to say that the New York Giants, that's going to be my first wild card pick. Who's your first wild card pick?
That's who I have as well.
That's who you have? And then,
just a team that I think finds their way to the playoffs, whether they win the division. They show they can win the Super Bowl without winning their division.
And then I'm going to stick my neck out there a little bit. Some people may say this is not sticking your neck out, but I think it is a little bit. I think the Detroit Lions find their way into the playoffs. I really do. I think they're going to get in there this year. Mello, who you got for your second team?
I think that Detroit has a chance to be in the playoffs this year, but I'm not banking on it. I'm going with Chicago. I like their offseason moves. And before Cutler went down, they were a pretty good team. If he stays healthy, I think they have a pretty good team this year. And that's hard for me to say because I do not like Chicago.
So we kind of disagree on the team, but we do agree on the division in which the second wild card comes from.
Yeah. It's kind of a no-brainer that the North and the East are the cream of the crop in the NFC as far as the strength of division. Yeah.
Awesome. Mello, I'm thinking that the 49ers are going to be the conference champions when this is said and done. Who do you think is going to be the conference champion when it's all said and done?
I think that Green Bay is going to be hard to beat this year. Yeah. I think that they can find a way to beat San Francisco. Might not be the greatest matchup, but I like A-Rod late in a game against any defense. And San Francisco's defense will be strong, but I like the way Rodgers and McCarthy work together, and I think they will game plan, and they know who they're probably going to have to go through to win, and they'll be ready for San Francisco. San Francisco, on the other hand, with Harbaugh, I just can't really get a grip on the egomaniac. I think he's just going to tell his guys, we're just going to go out there and win, and without setting a good, proper game plan.
Awesome. Shall we move to the AFC, my friend?
Sure.
So let's start out with the AFC East. So in the AFC East, you've got New England, the Jets, Miami, and Buffalo. Man, this one, and once again, I look like I'm just taking the incumbent, but I am going with the Patriots. I don't see the Jets doing anything. I don't see Miami progressing yet. Buffalo should be pretty good, but I just don't think they're strong enough to overtake the Patriots, who will probably rack up, 12, 13 wins. So, Mello, who you got?
Yeah, New England is the team they're another one that's made to win not preseason, regular season games, but I'm going to go out on a limb. I think the Jets have been playing possum all through this preseason. I think that Rex will get a handle on this team, and people will be surprised that the Jets are going to be a really good team this year. I think they overtake New England this year.
Wow. Is it enough for you to say Jets, 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 Jets?
I can say that. Jets, 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 Jets.
Nice. Okay. I got to see how this all plays out then. Let's go to the AFC North. This one's kind of a toughie for me. I just don't know what to expect with Roethlisberger in Pittsburgh. Does Baltimore, do they keep their stranglehold on, their style of play? Are teams finally going to be able to, do something against them or what? Does Cincinnati take a step forward or do they tumble backwards a little more? And Cleveland is just Cleveland for now.
They're not in the conversation.
Not in this conversation. But let me get crazy here. And I think that some way, somehow, underhanded or not, I think the Cincinnati Bengals come out of this as the division winners.
Whoa, Nelly, with a redheaded quarterback. Wow.
He'll be the first redheaded quarterback to win a division. No, just kidding.
Since Sonny Jurgensen.
Amazing. Mello, who are you taking in this one?
I really like Baltimore this year.
They're strong.
I like the Flack. I think he's got it going on. I think they just top to bottom, they have a solid team. I like their coach. Might not care for his brother that much, but I like this guy. And I just think Pittsburgh they're getting a little long in the tooth here.
Yes.
And, they'll be in the mix and stuff, but I like Baltimore to win the division.
Okay. AFC South. This one I am stuck on repeat because I think Houston should win AFC South, and I thought that last year as well. I think they're just really powerful, and they have that same kind of makeup of we want to run the ball. We just throw in a caretaker. We want to run the ball, and we will play really good defense. They're a very physical team.
They are, too. Got to the playoffs without their starting quarterback and won a game, too, last year, didn't they?
Yes.
So I say they're the cream of the crop easily in that division.
So you're sticking with them too?
Oh yeah, I think that's one of the easiest picks there is. I think really.
Yes, I wouldn't expect too much from these other teams.
No, I've got Tennessee, in the mix, but Indy and Jacksonville, they've got a long way to go, baby.
For me, Tennessee just doesn't seem like a team that's designed to score a lot of points.
No, they don't, and that's not going to get it done.
No.
It's a new league. You have to be able to score points.
And you're outrageous. When you're a team that just has a loaded defense, you're still basically just trying to hold these teams down.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going in there like the good old days of football where nobody scored a touchdown on them in X amount of quarters.
Yeah.
You're not
going to
really
hear that anymore.
You're not going to see that much. Not much at all. So Houston, we don't have a problem yet. All right, the AFC West, and this is where I'm a Oakland Raiders fan, but I have to put that aside when I'm making my little pick here and really look at this thing in a logical manner. I think Denver is poised to win this division. I really do. The defensive front is there. Then on offense, you add Peyton Manning, who is a light year ahead step from Tebow and that circus they had going on last year. I think Denver will get it done in the AFC West. Pains me to say that, though.
Okay. I am going with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Ooh, wow.
I think Romeo has made me fall for him once again here. I'm going to hang my hat on the lover boy that he is.
Wherefore out thou, Romeo.
That quarterback, Matt Castle, he's going to do something this year. He can't have another bad deal like last year's episodes here. I think they're going to take a few growing steps here. I think the division is really up for grabs, if you ask me. I think there could be, a lot of 8-8, 9-7 type deal are 7-9, right around there. I think they beat up on each other, and whoever gets the best of the other teams in the division, will win. I think they'll play well against the other teams outside their division too.
Awesome. I think I have to agree with you on this one. All right, wild card wise, Mello, my first wild card will be the Baltimore Ravens.
Okay.
Who's your first wild card team?
I've got New England. I don't have them winning the division, but I'm not going to say New England's not going to make the playoffs, so I had to put them as a wild card.
Very, very fair. And then I am going to go, once again, I'm going off the grid here. I'm going to say the Oakland Raiders. They get that second wild card spot. I think they've made some strides, and even the lack of penalties. If they cut down those penalties like they've shown in the preseason that they can, if even that should be enough to propel them to several more wins this season.
Yeah, they are playing with a lot more discipline. You hope that they hold on to that through the season. I've got pretty much a repeat. I can't see Pittsburgh not making the playoffs, so they're my other wild card team.
Awesome. Okay. When the dust settles, Mello, in the AFC, I think it's going to be the Houston Texans as the AFC champions. Who do you think is going to be the champion?
I like Houston to possibly make it to the championship game, but I'm high on Baltimore. I'm saying Baltimore represents the AFC in the Super Bowl.
Okay. All right. So I have Houston and San Francisco in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
And I have Houston lifting off. I had to have the dramatic pause. Lifting off and taking this one. I'm a big believer. I'm a big fan. And man, if they could just get the momentum at the right time this year and keep their quarterback healthy, boy, they're going to be hard to stop.
So you're going to stop making fun of Barbecue Stadium and all those other little wisecracks that you like to. They can't win outside the confines of Barbecue Stadium and all that other stuff you were saying?
I probably won't stop saying that stuff.
Okay.
Because I'm obnoxious, but I'll keep saying silly stuff.
I've got Green Bay versus Baltimore, with Green Bay winning yet another Super Bowl, but just on the shoulders and the golden arm of that man that I love so dearly, A-Raj.
The former Golden Bear has the golden arm. Awesome. Hey, we're kind of this is going to be one of the first years that we don't have one of the same teams in the Super Bowl, I think.
Yeah, I told you I was gonna reach and mix it up. I looked over last year's, and I had some playoff teams, and there's always those little surprises in there. So I didn't want to be surprised. I made my own surprises this year.
Yeah, and it's a lot more fun if you really just kind of look outside the box too.
Oh yeah, as you're following these teams, it's like, come on, I need you to win this week. Come on, guys.
Get it done.
Don't make me look bad.
Awesome, Mello. Since we've already predicted the Super Bowl winners here, what else? Anything else that you're looking for this season overall?
What do you get? 5 rookie quarterbacks starting this year?
Oh man!
So you can't tell me that more than half of them. Do you think more than half of them are going to have real success? Because I don't.
No way. You're lucky if you have 2 or 3 with great. You're really lucky. You're lucky if. Usually it's 1 or none.
Yeah, look what the Indianapolis situation. I mean, he's got to have some help.
Yeah, he needs some help. He's got the arm, but he needs some help, man. I just don't see them stopping too many teams.
Yeah, I think Bob Griffin is in the best situation of the rookie quarterback. And that deal down in Miami, I think is going to be a disaster. That and this deal in Cleveland, too. I think there's 2 disasters waiting to happen there.
Did you just call him Bob Griffin?
Yeah, because I'm going with Osi Umenora. He said he got to do something before he earns a nickname in this league here. So I'm with Osi. He's Bob Griffin until he does something.
Oh, my goodness. Bob Griffin. He's going to be on Family Guy next week. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. Laffity-daffity box. Oh, my goodness. Mello, anything else before we get going? What are these replacement officials? When is the first game going to be? What week will it happen that is just been lost due to these replacement guys?
It'll be the first play of the first quarter of the very first game. They're gonna mess something up. This is how many billions of dollars is this outfit making? And here we are, 2 years in a row, threatening us with this bad football because of money dispute here, or no football they threatened us with last year, which I told you all along that wasn't going to go
Yeah.
down. But
Yes.
I don't have the same confidence this year as they walked away from the table. We're going to have to deal with these replacement officials, and everybody's going to. I think coaches will get a mulligan and stuff when they go to the owner. You seen what they did to us out there? Give me another year.
I think this is going to be a disaster.
I just don't know how you can have a multi-billion-dollar industry and then haggle over thousands of dollars like that. That's
ridiculous.
Just crazy.
Yeah, fighting the wrong fight. You know what?
I think the NFL needs to be very careful because you're the biggest kid on the block and everybody knows it and stuff. But if you want to keep dabbling and taking a chance at messing up the product over these little things like this, granted the labor dispute with the players, that was a big deal and stuff. But this to me is petty for what they've got going on and what they could have going on. When you have a product of this nature that's clearly the best thing going, you want to keep pushing that forward. You don't want to have these little haggly things going on here where fringe fans have a chance to start watching soccer or something because of the bad refs here. I mean, just saying.
You're right. I mean, you make a good argument about this. And like you said, just silly because of the money. I mean,
it is. It's just agreed to no limit, if you ask me. I can't believe it. When I heard that they couldn't get it done, I was like, really, you guys, 2 years in a row, we're going to have controversy, because you guys can't handle your business? That's pretty sad, if you ask me.
Yeah, and only the real inside fans are going to, hold on to that. The casual fan is going to not even know that those are replacement officials.
They're not.
They're just going to be like, that's the official. But the hardcore fans that are really into football are going to be like, wow, that call changed the whole course of our season.
And when you talk about that old adage that, hey, this game comes down to just a few plays either way and stuff, well, a few calls either way, bad or good, could do the same thing.
Definitely. All right, Mello, anything else, buddy, before we call it a close to this preview edition?
Well, let me throw that out to the fans, what I told you earlier about the retired officials training officials. The NFL fires them because they wouldn't train these replacement officials. So now we have replacement officials training replacement officials, and I just think that's a recipe for disaster.
Oh, man. Oh, buddy. That's like scabs training scabs.
And we shouldn't even be, this should be a no-brainer. We shouldn't even be talking about replacement officials and officiating. We should be talking about the teams and the games. But, hey, they're doing this to themselves, so we'll see.
Yeah, and I hate to sound like a sore sport or whatnot, man. But sometimes when these situations arise, I just want somebody to just stick it to them. I just wish like the fans could get organized.
Yep. I've said that for years. If the fans ever got organized and really made a point of things by everybody following through on the boycotts, because you've heard of them say boycotts or wear this color or something. Well, they go along with that. Go along with not turning the TV on and not going to the stadium and see what happens.
Or just 1 week. I mean,
just
one week of that happening would buckle. It would crush them. They would buckle like nobody's business. But we just can't ever get that consolidated movement going.
No, I hate to say it, but I'm really starting to think the NFL has gotten a little too big for their britches, if you ask me.
They have.
We're just going to tell you how it's going. When they fired the guys that train the replacement officials because they wouldn't train those guys, I couldn't believe it. I'm just like, these are all the old legendary guys. I can't really remember a lot of the names now, but when they were saying them, I'm like, I remember that ref, And you just all their years of service, and they're still helping you out. And then when they didn't do what you said, you just canned them just like that. Really,
pretty sad, man. Heartless.
Yeah.
All right, folks, that's gonna call a close to our preview edition. So we hope you enjoyed our predictions What are your predictions? Why don't you send those in to us at tprfans@yahoo.com. That's tprfans@yahoo.com. Who's going to win each division? Who's going to win the Super Bowl? Why don't you send that to us right now? Or you can call the voicemail line. That's +1 at 810-309-8445. That number again is +1 810-309-8445. Regular toll charges do apply. For Mello Bets, I'm Hank Davis. We'll see you in week 1.